This video shows the execution of a single category and the execution of two hard-coded categories against two SQL instances. First execution was while the second instance was down, while the second execution is done while both instances are up and running. Since scripts used to retrieve audit information or any kind of information cannot be always a single value, which can be stored in specific tables, it was decided to generate the tables which will store the information based on the path of the audit join, with the first letter of each column that the script returns. Since same script is executed against multiple instances, the output of those script execution is merged in a single table that will append each time the instance against we executed the script. Based on this final table, we construct a TSQL statement that will either create the table and insert rows in it, or just insert the rows in it if the table already exists. Due to the fact that some data coming from different servers differs in length, some decision was taken about the length of those columns in order to be able to store longer strings. This means that we might allocate more space to the tables that we might need to store the data, but for the time being, I haven't seen any alternative. Once data is loaded in these tables, we can retrieve the data in them by constructing a dynamic SQL, which will check what tables are available for specific audit category, and when select the info from those tables. Once that output is obtained, we can parse it and check if server is meeting the audit requirement or not, and display that info in tabular format or using a chart. For the time being, the execution of multiple categories is done using that second green arrow, but in the future that arrow will be replaced by an icon, which will display the currently running categories based on their execution schedule together with information from both history tables. Audit category history and audit item history and information also from the tables in which we actually store the results of the scripts and the errors. The tables don't have columns for executed successfully or failed for each server, but they contain info in the execution log column and also on the table that stores errors that we can use for retrieving more information about the servers on which the script failed. Also, for the time being, the code doesn't have a retry mechanism for a failed insertion of the data in the database or failed insertion or update of properties which are required in case another user launches the application and want to see which categories are executing and which are not. As mentioned previously, this will be tackled later since for the time being we want to achieve the use of the feature by a single user that uses the application and not what should happen when a second user launches the application and interacts with the audit feature. For the remaining of the video, you will see me starting the second instance of SQL Server and launching again a category and checking the info we store in the history tables together with the information that was stored in the result table and error table.